Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field Glory's Empire as Rome. Our invasion of Macedonia is probably the fairest way to describe it is not going according to plan. Though maybe the question is, did I have enough of a plan to start with? The answer might be no. Honestly, in this case, we might try to come ashore someplace else just so the army is not stuck repelling incoming Roman attacks. We're holding well in the mountains there, so I'm not too worried. But it is at least pinning down multiple armies, and we don't need it to pin down more. The Averni here have declared on us. So this army I did have going west is going to get dragged into a conflict in... or going east is going to get dragged into a conflict in the west. So we deal with the Averni who just declared on us. We got prospect for resources. What natural resources do we have? We have gold here. Could continue fishing, and I think we will continue fishing. Fishing for copper and silver there. Unless... is there a place over here we needed to prospect away? Yep, no, we're going to pop it in that that mountain. Or in the mountain. Mountains from a trade goods standpoint. Oh, that's the trade overlay, not the trade goods standpoint. Oh, that is the trade goods standpoint. We can see we've got, well, actually, we've got lead and gold here. I believe mountains can roll, well, mostly they roll stone, but they can roll gold, iron, copper, silver. So we still got 3 of the good 4 hits to hit on that place. So we'll try to hit one of them. Making a lot more production than we need to. Actually, because this is a mountain, specifically the mountain here has got a food penalty, so let's swap other places first. Is that enough to still finish the amphitheater? No, we need a little bit more. About another 100. There we go. Open building slot. Prison for loyalty. Yeah. And you definitely don't need loyalty. Very tempting because that's a 30 culture building. Because we got gold, luxury, and silk. That's also 75 money bank. A little less interesting on the warehouse. Apparently we don't got a tools in range to import. Oh no, that's a missing bonus from tools. We have to import it some other way. I think we're going to make 75 money is a lot of money. Again, lets us not have other things working as hard on money. And can drop the infrastructure for you about 120. And for you 120. Okay, so we've got about 240 infrastructure we can free up to make food. So like another 80. There we go. Should help a little bit with, oh no, we need to put a little bit more back. A little over aggressive, apparently. How much am I missing by? I thought we were closer than that. Put some of these over maybe. Oh, that's way too many. Here we go. Get the bank and the prison done this turn. Both of those are the last slots. Once those are done, we'll move everyone that can be spared from infrastructure over to food production to really crank the growth. Nothing to build here. So unless we need it on culture like we need that one on Carnia, all the stuff to making food. $207. Oh, one short. We're gonna have one last guy stay on infrastructure. I think that big difference there is coming from that great engineering school. Faction-wide 10% infrastructure bonus is real nice, especially when you play like I do, where you want to focus infrastructure everywhere to get things built. A mint, or no, not a mint, a coin maker, which is actually really bad right now because it's got no gold, it's got no silver, it's got no copper. There's probably places to import those here, but they're not here yet. So the question is, do I take the decadence hit here for trying to import them later? I think it's the bank imports gold, the Copperworks imports copper. And those are in the list, so we can probably pull the necessary resources in to get this to be pretty strong. And that's the requirement for the mint. So I think we will go with it anyway. It's not as strong as it could be. $24 currency. 24 money here because of the 10% commerce bonus. Sure. It also gives access to tier 2 commerce buildings. You want some more loyalty, if we can get it to you. That's not the ideal source of loyalty, but that'll work. Meantime, we can welfare up to 75. Grab the Preceptor House. Pretty sure we got access to Papyrus here. Yeah. And then move guys over until these buildings are done in a turn. Coinmaker is probably the most expensive one. Missing on the coin maker. 48. Okay, so it won't finish this turn. Regardless of what we do, next turn we can probably make it almost guaranteed. Because some of these buildings will finish and probably not have a replacement. New open here. Yeah, you're just really bad at food, so we'll put you on money making. We do have access to a land expansion here, so we'll grab it. And then the other people who are better at construction. Mountains is pretty decent infrastructure. The forest here is pretty good infrastructure. We'll put them back on construction. Actually, how much overkill is that? Basically none, so we'll just call that good. Next province. 2 building slots here, and we're not even going to use one of them right now because we're probably going to take one of the 0 slots. So we take a large quarry. Not that interested in the large quarry. It's only 4 more infrastructure. And it's a 0 slot, so it's not like it's unlocking anything. Would be a decent reroll if I needed a reroll, but I don't need a reroll. Courthouse would be losing a secondance, though we'd be dropping the denominator by 4 versus dropping the top by 6. I think the decadence reduction here is decent. Decent enough to make up for the fact. Okay, and then we need enough infrastructure Okay, so we definitely don't need all this on infrastructure. Get 90 off doing something else. Do you want growth or... No, I probably want the money. Okay, we'll probably just call that good. I think that's a good start. Nothing to build here. So, money, food. Money. And yeah, that's what we're going to do on that one. That's got enough growth that it'll probably start, because plus 100 here, honestly, food, so it'll probably grow reasonably quickly. 2 turns we'll have something to build there. Even with that growth level. Belarus, at some point we're going to have to hope that Belarus actually grows. So we improve the happiness there. And or we get some lucky conversions. I think the Romans have like a 5% conversion rate by default. And we don't really need the temple upgrade here. So it is free culture, so it's not that bad. Well, this is a pretty good fishery. Grab the fishery, it'll give us fish, gives us the fish bonus to 3 nearby buildings. And this is the last one we need to pick up paved roads, so that's a good fish. Let's get the preceptor house here. And then if we can, we'll take everyone off of food, put them on infrastructure to get the preceptor house done. 2 turns. And we don't quite need all this money, so we'll also do some of the other stuff. Preceptor house. Okay, yeah, we're about the right price for that, so that'll be fine. Oh, open slot in Corsica. So that's Sardinia. Provinces Corsica, Sardinia, I forget which one's which. I think Corsica's the top one? Yeah, Corsica's the top one. Get a lead mine here. Lead's apparently worth 12 infrastructure, that's not actually that bad. We have a hospital here. We don't have access... Oh, we don't have access to drugs, but we can import it from places. So if we can import it from places, it's probably worth grabbing, actually. Usually I say no, because you can't import it. Apparently we're importing it here. Yeah, let's grab that hospital. That'll allow us to be fishing in this slot for the Great Hospital. I don't think we built the Great Hospital anywhere, or did I build the Great Hospital? Built the Great Hospital somewhere, okay. So it would just be a hospital. So, plus 2 more health, it's probably... It was better when I was actually fishing for the Great Hospital there. We already got the Great Hospital, apparently. It doesn't stack, you only get 1. Yeah, so actually, no, we probably don't want a hospital. We'll grab Clearwater if it shows up, but I think we're... Well, Aqueduct as well. There's a couple health buildings there worth it, but this one is not. We'll go with the lead mine then. Obviously, we don't need but quite so much guys on production for the lead mine. Get you 75? No. Okay. Now I'll get the lead mine done. Open build slot here. Irrigation system. I don't think we're, because of oceanic trade, I don't think we're necessarily desperate for an irrigation system into irrigation canal here. We need 2 more agricultural buildings as well. Gyms may be a little bit tempting for having manpower issues, but we're not. Don't really need the military store. We'll go to the Oration Tribune here, so we can either get the courthouse or at least take advantage of the loyalty bonus in the meantime. And that's going to complete that any other investments, so we'll just move on. 2 building slots here. Don't need the loyalty anymore, so we can take these guys off. They can go to production. We can do expert stonecutter for the 10 culture. We don't need the loyalty, so I'm not going to do the upgrade to gambling arena. Yeah, it does raise the decadence, so it's better on a decadence to loyalty ratio, but it's not. We don't need the loyalty, we don't need it. Ceramic Works is tempting. Yeah, I think Ceramic Works is what we're going to go over the expert stonecutter. Something is stonecutter. And we'll grab a monument. 3 open slots. We don't need the cult site, though it's 9 culture, which is good anyway. You know, we'll grab it because it's 9 culture. We do at some point want to still generate enough culture to get back into the progressing tier. We're just not desperate for it right now. We don't need the loyalty here. I'll get the wheelmaker so we can get regional road upgrade. There. Lots of build choices here. We could grab the master. I don't want the master armor smith all the way out here, but we could grab it. Oration Tribune or Harbor. We'll do the Oration Tribune. We're closer to the loyalty level than I want to be. We have Papyrus out here. We do have Papyrus out here. So grabbing the school wouldn't be a bad idea. Not quite the level of loyalty we want, but I don't think we can get... yeah, we can't get to 75. And then 5 open slots here. If we're desperate for loyalty, we could go Pillager Mansion, but we're not going to because we're not desperate. It's not particularly great fishery. Could grab the armor to get access to tier 2 Roman buildings. We'll go the quarry because it's a decent quarry location. One open here. Do a reroll there. Don't like any of the choices, and situations because of the wrong culture pops is a little sketchy there to throw lots of mediocre choices in. So this is just a bad province, honestly, because of the Dune Storm. Minus 45% infrastructure, unremovable. Minus 15 commerce, unremovable. So we really want to do either culture or food, specifically in this one. So given that, we might actually do a soul house, because that's food and health. Get the loyalty in Betis. I don't think we can get enough to get it 75 now. We might actually benefit. We got a couple Hispanic citizens here. We'll benefit a little bit from going temple. Could go pleasure house for the 8 loyalty. Don't need the slaves making loyalty anymore. No, I think we can get everyone off of, because we're not going to get 75, so we'll swap everyone over to construction, get the loyalty generating building done quicker. Okay, we're over to regular territories, which are apparently all done already. We'll lime you up. Move you over to the next one where we got a lime to upgrade as well. And we want to come over here at some point to turn you into lime, turn the public works into regional, and the regional into paved. Paving there. Got an army going to deal with that issue. The army's moving around there and there. Objectives haven't changed, right? Still the same 4? Yeah. Okay, this army needs some reinforcement. Let's give it 3 legions. 6 auxilia. And then it needs... Well, we're going to give it some Germanic cav to serve as heavy cav. And we'll do some Cisalpine. And light cav. Bulk out the cav component. Come reinforce this one. This one got jumped a bit by the Navy, which is why it's in a little bit of a sorry state. Okay, once again, the guy with the attacking trait, please, I order you to carry out a attack maneuver. Defender can stay behind and defend. I suppose in this case we really should be trying to produce for... Actually, no, if we can finish the watchtower, we do want the watchtower finished, so that'll be fine. Okay, and then I'm a little bit tempted, and I think I will go ahead and say we want another Roman legion. 6 linemen, 6 archers. We'll keep out a bit and not go for the Gallic ones and just grab a couple heavy cav from this province, and then we'll have those guys run over as well. And you can see how expensive recruiting armies like that in 1 turn are. They do add up. Great Barbarian. Okay, let's cycle that turn. Okay, our attacking unit did manage to actually disengage from its position and go on the attack and go smack dab into their defender. So it's a 2 attacker into a 2 defender. In more open terrain. Skirmish goes off. 6. Why am I only getting 1 roll? Getting... Oh, did we get there second, so we're in the defending position? Well, that's not great. got there first, so we're actually the defender. And a draw, and the attacker's dead. Okay, so I think our stack's gonna get wrecked there, because with no general, they're gonna have a bad day. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Pretty wrecked. Attacker is ordered to go on the offense and instead gets caught in a defensive battle in enemy territory. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. Still in the stable tier. Okay, people are apparently attacking us now that we're not as scary. One return fortifying, and then we'll try to move it off into another one and hope that the garrison can hold if the Roman army shows, or the Macedonian army shows up. Art of the Siege with a naval support. Oh, interesting. A naval support both sides, which we will if we can. Okay, this army is assembled. And we took too long, so we don't have a neighboring province in that one, so we lost the objective there. We still have the objective there. Where did the fourth one move to, then? The Saxonies. You really want me to go out into the... No, we're not going to go chasing that one. I got objectives I want to fight for, and they're all in... Well, I got the fact that I need to bring Macedonia down in size if we want to win before turn 500. So Macedonia is the target. One way or the other. Is it just the one island, or is it... No, there's two islands there. Second island's a little small. That looks pretty fortified, so we don't want to do a breach landing. Okay, so I'm gonna send them there. I'm gonna send this guy to go lay siege to the stuff off the shorelines. Okay, that Roman army is only awaiting its cavalry component, which we actually trained. Whoops. That is the garrison, I believe. Okay, so the cavalry component isn't going to be delayed. That's making me really think I want to bring the Roman army just built up. So, they've got two Averni armies here in our territory. We've got a 1-2 here. Got a 1-2 as well, and a 2-1. I think we have the advantage in hills in practice. Hills and plains and such. Well, they got no force to hide in. Okay, so we're just going to go like a counteroffensive here. Run our guys forward. Okay, those armies are moving. Those armies are moving. This is the detachment for... I think technically that army. Yeah. So we've got another army that will be ready to go next turn. Bringing the Greek forces, or bringing the Italian forces together. And we'll have some guys actually ready for a counteroffensive up in the north. So yeah, the Vreni and a Quantia here have probably signed themselves up to be conquered. See how counterattack goes. Okay, I think diplomacy-wise, we had a little bit of diplomacy pending with Byzantium. They want to humiliate us. Counter proposal? How about no? We'll take white peace with you. We're not coming for your stuff. But, yeah, we'll take white peace with you. Similar sort of thing with the Saxon Nones. We will propose a white peace. They're probably not going to accept it, but we can offer it. Get Tuni. With both war with both us and Carthage. I believe these are technically rebels. We'll wait for the rebels to get a little bit stronger before we try to do anything, so we'll propose a peace. I don't think that because it dragged itself down into here. If we had troops ready, we could try to go marching into these territories to take them from the rebels, but we're not ready for that. And we'll see if Carthage responds, and how Carthage responds. Okay, I don't want to raise any more troops right away, even though we basically lost half an army. Tribunal. Not a bad choice. Would basically functionally be a reroll with a decadence reduction, so sure. Because the tribunal basically is converting the courthouse from point forward full 1. Which might make it so that our decadence starts to go down turn over turn, but we'll see. And then yeah, with that pending, let's crank up production. Try to get done in a turn. Yeah, that will get it done in a turn. How much overkill? Lots of overkill. It's only 350. Okay. Let's not go with that much overkill. Also, can you get rid of the Macedonian fleet sitting off our coastline? I'd appreciate if it was not there. Not enough to get it done. A little bit more. A little bit more than that. Oops, ooh, that was too much. Okay, that's about right. That's not overkill enough that I'm too worried about. I don't think a cult site is actually going to help with loyalty here. We do want loyalty here. Wanted enough that I'm actually willing to do a reroll here, so we just do a reroll. In which case we need no infrastructure here this turn. I think this area is built up so much we can't actually take everyone off of infrastructure and still have positive infrastructure. Yeah, we're down to 9. We got that many guys on infrastructure. So maybe an indication that if we can, we do want to probably build up infrastructure in the area as well, but loyalty is prioritized over raw infrastructure. In this case, it is... I don't think there's any... Well, maybe Marble Vein. The Marble Vein came up, but... Or Bridge. A couple options there. This option, I think we're going to go... Well, we don't need the loyalty or the Noble District. It's not enough culture. Usually might just do a reroll here. We do probably want the next building to be a culture building, so we can get access to tier 3 culture buildings. But we ain't desperate for it yet, so I'm not going to pay the decadence cost for the culture on this. It's not a high enough ratio of culture to decadence for my liking. This is basically a very expensive reroll. But it's giving us culture, so we'll take it. And then you are being offered the Academy. Because of the decadence reduction and the culture gain, even though it costs us money, is like a no-brainer grab. And that's going to be expensive enough. I think that's just saying every place. Don't need people to generate the loyalty. Swap them to production. Countrywide. Or province-wide. Get up to 102 on off of food. So yeah, get that going. So Amphitheater, 3 turns. Academy, 3 turns. Okay. Coin makers a turn out. Don't need you on that anymore. Coin maker, we're probably making enough infrastructure that we don't need it all on. Yeah, no. So the places under siege go to food. It'll actually make them a little bit more siege resistant in practice, because we don't have to worry about our guys inside the group. Oh, that's the next territory over. Never mind. This area, yeah, we just don't. We need a lot less stuff, so we'll swap you over. Swap you over. We want like a surplus of 30 infrastructure, which might be all we get from the buildings, so. Or the net we get from the buildings. Yeah, I think the net from the buildings, so that gets the coin maker done in a turn. Probably also gets us something else finished and population goes somewhere else. Hard to tell, and the answer might actually surprise me. It might be a no. You got 2 open slots in the Alpine. The Alpine Glacier here has penalties in infrastructure and food, so... Well, it doesn't really have a... I think it has a penalty to workers working food, not buildings making food. Could go with the Palisade to just defend the region a bit more, but this is a pretty nice clothing manufacturer, so we'll do the clothing manufacturer. Okay, we need 100 production, not the 195 we've got right now. So about that. Okay, open slot here. This is one of the places under siege, so we'll leave the guys in it under food production, but as soon as they relieve the siege, construction will start proceeding. Needless to say, we don't need any infrastructure right now because we can't ship infrastructure into a siege. At least without the port not being unblocked. Nothing there. I think we still need, yeah, well, maybe not as much on the Baleares, but basically still need it on the Baleares. Oh, I don't need as much infrastructure, so we can go money-wise out here, but yes. Okay, next region. Nothing there. We can save another 30-something. Get growth going. Nothing here. Again, we can save another 30-something. Increasing growth speed. 5 open slots. Don't need the gladiator school. It's not a particularly great coastal market. Brickworks, you got access to stone, is always decent, so we'll grab the brickworks. We need to get pop growth somewhere, so toss someone. Reduction. 13. Noble District should finish next turn. This is a exposed area out in the desert, so we'll wall it up. Well, let's get some African war elephants. We needed some African war elephants. Like, that's actually a little tempting just to recruit. If we ever get into open terrain combat, 7 base attack, 6 range attack. In the desert, get an extra +1. Just really doesn't like those mountains. Really doesn't like those mountains. But yeah, basically 8 in the desert. So for the desert fighting that we can get down into over here, some elephants would not be bad. Africans are 7, regulars are 7, but they don't get the desert combo. Okay. Got a batch of 4 of them. We'll build up a small, like, Carthaginian desert force, because we've got a big batch of Carthaginian desert down here. And to be fair, they're not bad in the plains. And Carthage itself is plains. Open slot. Perfumes, training required. We do need the loyalty, so we'll grab it though. It's tempting not to, but... Zuze. Close enough, we can probably get you 75. Yeah. Potency, maybe as well? No. So, with that Pleasure Mansion done, it will be there anyway. 2 open slots there. No loyalty problems out here, which is nice to see. We'll upgrade the walls. That's right on the Barbarian territory, so that's a great wall. To upgrade 3, 4, and 1. We do need loyalty bonus here, so we'll take the Fortune Teller. Otherwise the farm probably would have been the no-brainer. Definitely use the loyalty bonus here, so we'll grab the Tribune. Tribune. It's not a bad tavern, and there's ways we can make it better. And that'll, again, help with a little bit of the loyalty. Okay, and then we're on to individual territories. Not a bad temple. We only got one guy left to convert, so we're not going to bother. Well, and we're not bothering with the Hellenics, right? So we'd only really be caring about the Celt. So that's not a bad temple. Okay, that's all the individuals. Troops are moving, troops are moving. Let's do a quick once over on the individuals like this place. Put them on make money. Not actively building. Partially got to remember where they all are, because it's harder to cycle them if they don't got anything they're actively doing. Oops. Need some people to maintain the infrastructure. And then we did... Okay, that's all good. And it's just this one over here. And yeah, we have them constructed. Cool. Any decisions we want to do? No. Okay, let's advance the time and see how the new naval landing goes. Oh, Roman fort, or another Macedonian fort fell to us. There's our... Oh, that's the little navy intercepting our boats. Transport boats. We lost Imperial Legion to... Two Imperial Legions to a tiny little pirate fleet, basically. We'll skip that because that's just going to go bad. It's not point in watching. Verni versus our Legion. Range phase. Exhaust basically the entire enemy front line. We got 9 and 2, so even if we've got less rolls, it's going to go our way. Just remove that army from consideration. And that one too. And of course they hit the cavalry alone force. I think the cavalry are gonna... we'll see. No. Cavalry are not performing well. They're meant to flank or be massed. They don't really like getting skirmished like that. They're not cost-effective skirmishers. And... oh no, that's the military fleet, at least at this point. Rome wins the battle, sends the enemy fleet to the bottom. Here's our army showing up to revenge their cav forces. Skirmish. 9 versus 7. Now, this is not going to be as punishing because we got no cavalry to do the pursuit phase. But we still win that battle. Okay, so we'll need to replace the cavalry, but that's fine. At this point, the Iverni is reduced to 1 field army. We should be able to punish them for their transgressions. Still in the stable tier. We went a little bit up, but not much up. And the peace treaty between me and Carthage is in, so we'll have to be careful. Carthage could finish the declare on us. Okay, we're taking a little bit of attrition in the ocean, so we need to move the navy. Or, well, actually, we don't need to move the navy anymore because we've taken the province. Disregard. Got a new objective somewhere. On whom? Veneti, and Dacia. Well, we're not going to running off to Dacia anytime soon. Veneti, at least that one's not going to go away because it's right on our front lines. That's fair. Feel that as invective. That's fair. Siege is over. Okay. So looking at the time, this is where I should go ahead and put another part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow where we continue to attempt to attack Macedonia. I think at this point we've pretty much destroyed the Macedonian fleet, and we're starting to build a bigger and bigger beachhead in Western Macedonia. So it should be easier and easier to prevent getting thrown back in the sea. Also, the Macedonian forces are starting to take a little bit of attrition. While I don't think our force is necessarily large enough to take them straight on in the plains with that massive stack, the massive stack's main benefit is the phalanx here, but you'll notice, okay, technically doesn't have a penalty fighting in hills, so we've got to be a little careful in the hills, but if we're in the mountains, they're not really good at fighting in the mountains. And then they're relying on mercenary hoplites and stuff like that for the backup. Most of them are hoplites, which our legionnaires are better at. It's just the one set of phalanxes, and if they start running out of those phalanxes, they're going to have issues. And yeah, it's the phalanxes. Even the heavy ones are not really things that we're worried about. It's just the phalanxes. Just their core phalanx. So yeah, YouTube, we'll be up tomorrow. Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to take a short break. I think I'm going to go make a cup of tea, so I'll be back as soon as I'm done with that cup of tea. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.